because we got a special double feature tonight, I won't waste everyone's time with some silly nonsense at the beginning of the show. Welcome, everyone, to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we talk about movies too much. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Saturday evening is the anime senpai himself, Mr. Tony Chopper, Michael Desir. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
It's too hot.
It's fucking very hot. Also joining us is the Fortnite father, Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing tonight?
Too hot.
It's a scorcher. And cool. Rounding us out this evening is the Disney daddy, Mr. Dominic 40. Dom, how are you doing this evening?
Go for the trifecta, man.
Too hot.
Yeah.
Can't take the heat. Yeah. Stay out of the podcast booth. I don't know. Anyways, a couple of housekeeping things before we get into the first of two episodes tonight on our double feature for the PTC Movie Club. This episode of the Pass Control Podcast is sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area or the North Shore of Massachusetts on Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening, you want yourself something hot, something sweet, something tasty, something fresh out of the oven, head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you can check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and educate yourself on these tasty treats. A couple other housekeeping things. I played through all of Cuphead's Delicious Last Course already, and I have uploaded that video to our YouTube channel. So if you don't think that's a game you can get through, or a game you're not interested in, or a game you've never played and you want to check it out, you can check out all of the boss fights from the most recent release of the DLC. Because even if it's a game you think that you are not skilled enough or have the patience to play, I definitely think that the boss design and animation is worth watching regardless. So whether you look at our video of me playing it or someone else's, I highly recommend checking it out if it's something you don't think you would actually want to play, just because it is a gorgeous game. A few other housekeeping things. Now that we are into July, I have a few more charity streams coming up for MG. The first of which will be part 2 of our Babylon's Fall full playthrough. So if you want to see me suffer through what might be one of the worst what is definitely one of the worst games I've ever played. I don't know if it is the worst game I've ever played, but it is up there. If you want to see me suffer through the rest of that game with couple of friends, I know Cam Hawkins, friend of the show, and potentially a few others, maybe one others will be joining us to finish that playthrough. You can look forward to that. And probably mid-July, I will be doing another series of charity streams. I haven't settled on the date and time just yet, but stay tuned to social media channels to see when that's going to go live. One of those will be, at the bare minimum, another long marathon stream, which could potentially result in another game I don't want to play. So be on the lookout for that. You can still donate now before the stream happens or after the stream happens all year until, I believe, the team pages close in November or September. I can't remember. So you still got
maybe I should download the core.
You trying to grab the quarry? I don't want to play that game.
Yeah, maybe I'll grab. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
That. Well, I already have.
Maybe I'll add the quarry as a potential option.
That's definitely an option. I already have Resident Evil 2 and Sonic Forces here, 2 games I don't want to play. So, if the quarry gets added to the mix, maybe there's an additional bonus stream up for grabs. We shall see. But without further ado, it is Dom's pick. Or picks, should I say, the first of which episodes tonight we will be doing episode 321 on 2001's Moulin Rouge, which I'm sad, at least unless I don't remember. I'm sad that for either of these movies we're going to talk about tonight, in a previous episode, I didn't give you what I thought the synopsis was of these movies because...
Oh, no, you did not.
Because let me tell you, a lot of different things going through my head for both of these films, and when we get to the second film in the next episode, I got a fun little anecdote for that film.
An anecdote?
Yes. But
I'm
Should be good.
Excited to hear what this anecdote. Yeah.
Well, you have to listen to the next episode, episode 322, to get that anecdote. So,
Yeah, I'll just listen to it.
yeah, just listen to it. Yeah. So to kick things off, as we always do, we will kind of go through some of the broader stats, figures, etc. for this movie. So, as we usually begin, Moulin Rouge came out May 18th, 2001 with a budget of $50 million. Mike, what do you think this movie grossed worldwide? Groosed. I am groosed.
Spruce Bruce.
I was just going to say the same.
Bruce Springsteen.
You're asking me how much money I thought it made. Probably too much, because this director is still out there making an Elvis movie. So
It's true.
50 million 2002, was it? 2002, 2001?
2001.
2001. Let's say 200. Cool, 200
200 million?
million. Yeah.
200 trillion.
I don't know. Listen, Mike's got. Maybe Mike was thinking it did a measly 200,000. Who knows? And it's just a cult classic. Todd, what are you thinking? What are you thinking for Moulin Rouge?
Say like 80
So
million?
Mike's sitting at 200. Todd's saying it did just over budget.
It's a musical. I feel in 2001. I feel like that wouldn't have. I mean, it was pretty popular. I think the movie.
It was called 2001's Best Film of the Year.
Dom, what are you thinking? Where are you landing on this?
I'm thinking like 150.3.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
exactly it.
Now, I don't remember what we typically do. If we typically do this, do we go closest or Price is Right? I don't know what we do in this scenario.
I don't know. It's either 150 or 160.3. I just looked it up. So I actually looked it up by accident.
All right. Well, it is neither of those numbers.
I literally I just pulled up the cast list.
I
wanted to look at
always,
the character's name.
unless another site is pulling wrong,
It must just be
I always use Box
You're
Office
on
Mojo.
Wikipedia?
I always use Box
Oh,
Office
okay.
Mojo. So that's where I pulled those numbers every time we do a movie. So it's, I guess technically Dom is closer because he did 150 point whatever, and Mike did 200 even. I think, I don't know. Someone be the math person here. It did 179.2.
cool.
So who is actually closer here?
I think I was with 80.
Yeah, Todd.
There you go.
It was definitely Todd.
Good. So 180. So it's 20 off of what I said, and 30. Well,
30
Dom
off of
said
mine.
two different
Yeah.
numbers.
Well, no,
It doesn't matter.
Dom said
It's
one-
very
yeah.
unimportant.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because we don't. It doesn't matter. You are correct. So it did very successful, I think, for the budget and based on the genre of film, I would imagine.
I'm curious how Romeo and Juliet did. That was also his movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can pull that up. Romeo and Juliet.
Plus Juliet.
I don't think it did anywhere near it. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, percentage-wise, it did better because it had I'm sorry. It doesn't actually... Hold on. It did 147.5 worldwide, and I looked at the domestic opening as the budget. It doesn't list the budget here, so...
When did that come out?
1999?
1999?
96.
96.
Yeah.
So, it...
Right before Titanic.
Right before
Really got
Titanic.
Leo was having a good couple of years.
So, what do we think this tomato meter looked like? We got a tomato meter and an audience score. Mike.
Dom did say it was the best movie of.
You know what? We
time.
will say this before you even give
I didn't say all time.
anyone any answers. This has won 87 awards and has been nominated for 132 awards.
Did it win any Oscars?
It won two Oscars for Best Art Direction, Set Direction, and Best Costume
And
Design.
sound. Oh, I thought sound was one.
It was nominated for Best Picture
like 5 times, right?
Yes. No, like 8 times it looks like, because it was nominated for Best Picture, Best Actress in a Leading Role, Best Cinematography, Best Film Editing, Best Makeup, and Best Sound. So
You want to know a fun fact?
hit me with them. Love a good fun fact.
Ewan McGregor was nominated for Best Actor for this, as was John Cameron Mitchell.
Not
same
for
year.
not for an Oscar though.
Then it was a Golden Globe.
Yeah, because or maybe a BAFTA. Best. Yeah, maybe a Golden Globe because I don't see that.
Golden Globe.
Yes, Golden Globe. So it's got some awards under its belt. It's got some nominations under its belt. It's got some Oscar cred. So what are we thinking for a tomato and audience score, Mike?
I want to say like high 80s, low 90s for both. I can't. Yeah, something like that. I don't know if I could give you good numbers. Let's say like 88 for critic, and then maybe like 93 for audience. Why not?
You said 88, 93?
Mm-hmm.
Todd, what about you?
I'm going with the same thing I said for box office. 80 for Metacritic or whatever we say for Rotten Tomatoes, and user probably like I'll say like 75.
All right, Dom, where are you dropping here?
I'm gonna go. Mike, what'd you say? 83.
No,
I said
I said
88.
88, 93.
I'm gonna go 86.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go. I don't know. 90.
Okay. Well, we are sitting at a cool tomato meter of 76%. So I believe Mike was the closest there. And then an audience score of 89. So Dom
Todd
is the
said
closest
80.
there. Oh, Todd said
said
80.
80.
I apologize.
And I said 75, but for the other one. But yeah, 80
but
to
Dom
89.
you said 90 audience, Dom?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get an 89 there. So interesting to see that the audience score is a little bit higher here. Just given the fact that it did win a lot of awards.
I don't know if that's surprising for a musical, though.
I'm only saying that because it was nominated for a lot of awards. That's why I'm surprised the critic score is lower. I don't have any information to back that up.
You probably have a bunch of critics sitting on the panel that aren't fans of musicals.
I was gonna say, yeah, like fans of musicals come out and see these movies mostly. I mean, you can get other people to see them, obviously, but yeah.
So Moulin Rouge, a Baz Luhrmann film. Dom alluded to the director still making films today. Some of their other I apologize. Some of their other works they are known for: Australia, The Great Gatsby, Strictly Ballroom. And is this person involved with the Elvis movie? You said screenplay and story by.
He should be the director.
It says screenplay. It says screenplay.
Oh, really? I thought he was the director.
Oh, but he's both. He's both director and writer. So I will say a few different things about this film off the bat. I did not know what this film was about. I also think I confused in my brain this movie.
It's in Chicago.
With Chicago.
Yep.
So, yeah.
When you said I should have guessed ahead of time, I was like, he thought this movie was Chicago.
Yes. I was very confused when I realized, oh no, this movie is not that movie. But I was right in thinking that this movie had that Lady Marmalade song. No, had that Lady Marmalade song.
I was confused when that song was in it because I was like, I thought that was just part of the soundtrack. I'm like, they're not going to incorporate like. Did it have it didn't have the version that was from the soundtrack, did it?
No, it did not.
No, okay.
Doesn't that version have like Eve and Christina Aguilera on it?
But they had like Beatles songs in it and everything.
I think all of the music they sang was like
all of them are old
someone's
songs,
music.
Yeah.
It was like an Elton John song.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
Oh, Elton John.
Because
there's a Beatles song too, though. There is a Beatles song and an Elton John song.
There's original music for the musical.
Yeah.
Believe me, I was very confused when "Smells Like Teen Spirit" starts playing. I'm like, really? We did this?
That was a weird pull.
So since we're just getting right into the music, what were like? Do you guys have favorite like musical sections of the film? Because does anyone?
No.
Okay.
No. It's just solidified that I don't like musicals. I think for the most part.
Well, give Dom a chance to answer to Dom. Did you have favorite moments of this or no? Music wise?
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed the I think it's called the Elephant Medley. The All You Need Is Love, where like he kept going through love songs and she kept going through like songs that like shoot down love songs essentially.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that. The Smells Like Teen Spirit thing was wild. Like I was kind of baffled by
What-
That was, like,
what-
right at the
what
beginning,
section
too.
was that?
Yeah.
It was like right at the beginning. Like when
it was
Right at the
it was when it might have been right before she came down from the ceiling.
Yes, that's when it was. Yeah.
Okay.
That was like wild to me.
Because it
And
made me
then-
think. It made me think of that fucking Peter Pan movie that just came out. Well, not just came out, but came out.
No,
like,
that was a few
I
years
don't
ago.
know, a few
Yeah.
years- That was a few years ago,
Yeah.
but still, like they also did a whole "Smells Like Teen Spirit" thing with Captain Hook's Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Overall,
There was one of the original songs I really liked too. "Come What May," I think, is the song. It was like the song that was
he
in
sings.
the play.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was like supposed to be the last song in the play.
Yes, yeah. That's the song that he sings to her when they first meet, right? That song? Like his song, or no?
No, isn't it the song?
No,
they
no, it's the
sing-
song that they wrote for the last. It's the song that they
To
wrote
show
to be
that
like the
he's-
happy ending of the play. Yeah,
Yeah.
the one
Is-
that to be like we
He's-
still love each other. That
exactly.
That one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think it's the song that he first sings.
I did like the song where it was like, "It's everything you ever want."
Yeah.
I don't know the joke. I'll just pretend to laugh too, I guess.
It's the greatest show.
Brendan,
So now Brendan watches. Now we know Brendan's seen the film, and he still doesn't know the movie.
Wait, Greatest Showman?
That is
Yeah.
a song from Greatest Showman.
Listen. I saw Greatest Showman, and then immediately after we recorded that podcast, I put that
Why
film
Why
out
are
of
we
my
doing
head.
this anymore?
Huh?
So why are we doing this? Wasn't the whole point so that you would start watching movies?
Yeah, again, when we
Now we're making
we
movie
said
references
watch
we
movies.
don't
We
even
never,
know.
said, we never said retain movies.
listen, I loved Moonlight. Last month's pick was fucking fire. Whoever picked that film, fucking pat on the back. You picked a banger.
Brendan only remembers his picks.
Oh no, I remember fucking
Country Bears.
You remember Hereditary?
yes,
You remember
I do remember
Yeah.
Hereditary. I will
you
never.
Like Nice Guys.
I
You
will
like
never.
Nice- I feel like
Nice
everyone
Guys was
enjoyed
okay. Actually, someone shared something like a clip of the Nice Guys on Twitter the other day, and I was like, "Yeah, that movie was fucking weird. Like it was good, but like it was kind of weird."
it. Good. That's a cult movie right there.
No, I mean, listen, I don't. I haven't listened to the music from The Greatest Showman again. I'm good with that. I don't know. Anyways, overall, did everyone like this movie or no? I didn't really care for it.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan actually. This is
it.
actually my first time watching this movie.
Mine too. I think it's
Yeah.
all of ours or no?
Yeah, probably.
I'm assuming
That
for
is-
both films it is all of our first time watching these two films, right?
It was for me.
Okay, yeah.
I don't necessarily like. I liked Romeo and Juliet, but like this director, I'm not like a huge fan of the style. I guess.
Yeah.
The style
was-
was
there was a lot of-
intense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a lot of weird shit happening, like at all points in the film.
Yeah.
It was very epileptic at points, where
Yeah.
just like
100%.
it was just cutting
So-
between scenes, and then there are also the scenes where like
fever. It was like fever dream.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
right.
So I
there were parts
also
where it slowed things down too.
Mhm.
That was just weird. Like you can tell like he was shooting it at like a slower frame rate or whatever. And I was like, what? Why?
I was also not a fan of most of the cinematography and like shot choices and like the quick transitions and like a lot of the stuff happening. Jen did like it, and Jen was
I
basically
feel like it's a good movie. It's just like not a movie for
Not
everyone.
for us.
yeah.
Yeah. Because it was another one of those movies that I watched and I was like, yeah, I mean, I get like it's artistic. Like I understand that I'm
Yeah.
supposed to enjoy this, but this is like not a film for me.
Yeah. Well, that was like Jen was basically like, because and we'll get into some of this stuff, but like this is based on like a real place and like some real things and whatnot. And I think the point of the
John
way
Leguizamo's character is a real person.
that I did not know.
He,
But
like it's a character. He's like a French artist who like broke his legs as a child and like his legs stopped growing. That's why
Jeez.
he's like misproportioned.
okay, it makes sense because one of the things I said to
Yeah.
Jen at some point in the movie, I was like, why did they choose to make him shorter? Like, is there a reason, or are they just
It was
trying
a
to
weird,
like,
weird choice.
yeah? But I guess that makes sense if he's based off a
He was
character.
standing with all of them, and you can.
But why would you bring a real
clearly tell
character
he
into
was,
this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You can clearly tell that he was like green screened into like a scene.
No,
just because
he
it's
was
supposed to be
not.
shorter.
He
I
was
like,
not,
really?
Mike. He was not.
Wasn't?
So one of the facts I was going to pull about the film, John Leguizamo needed physical therapy after shooting to play the diminutive Toulouse-Lautrec. I don't know how to say this name. Toulouse-Lautrec. I apologize. It's definitely not pronounced properly. John Leguizamo was required to walk on his knees in special leg braces with his feet and lower legs removed. So he was on his knees, but they used special effects to remove his legs from behind him.
Of his legs, yeah.
So like he was like walking like that throughout the film on his knees.
It was a scene that it looked weird, where like he wasn't. It looked like he wasn't actually there. There was a scene, I think, when they were trying to pitch the thing to the Duke, where they were all jumping
He
around
was like,
and like
hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
no.
yeah,
It was like when they were pitching
yeah.
the thing to the Duke at the near the beginning of the film, where they were singing "Spectacular." Was that the name of the song?
Well, I don't know if it's the name of the song, but that scene, yes.
Yeah,
That scene. If you look at him versus everyone
that scene
else,
was wild too.
it looks like he wasn't actually there.
Mm-hmm.
To me, anyway.
So, yeah, the franticness of the movie to me like made this movie feel like maybe how the characters were feeling, which was like high, drunk, like whatever, you know what I mean?
Exactly like what's it called? Romeo and Juliet is like super frantic as well. I
haven't seen it in a long time, but I don't remember that movie being that way.
Thinking about it, I didn't really like Great Gatsby.
I didn't like Great Gatsby either.
I never saw Great Gatsby.
People love Great Gatsby though. People fucking love that movie.
Yeah. We saw it in theaters.
Yes, we did.
We did see it in
We
theaters.
did.
I bought the soundtrack because it had I think it had Jay-Z song.
Didn't Jay-Z produce the entire soundtrack?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
I didn't know that he directed that movie, so now I'm glad I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
I feel like we should, and we're getting off topic, but I feel like I should like Great Gatsby. Like I like most of the cast, although I like a lot of the cast of this movie. I don't know.
It was a good cast. I kept looking at that guy. It took me a while. I had to look him up. I'm like, why does this
He's
Harold,
Professor
whatever.
Moody. Professor.
No, he's Slughorn. He's Slughorn.
Slughorn.
Yeah, I had to look it up.
Yeah.
I'm like, why does he look
I
so
knew he
familiar?
was,
I was
I think he was one of the
thing.
Harry Potter guys. Yeah.
Oh, he's Slughorn. There you go.
I will say, Ewan McGregor, especially in this movie, like his eyes just look fake to me. Like they do not look like a real color. I don't understand what they are. Like they're like a very specific shade of blue that just looks like he's wearing contacts. Like they just don't look
You heard
real.
it here first, people. Brenden got lost in Ewan McGregor's eyes
I
while
did.
watching Moulin Rouge.
I really fucking did. But yeah, I don't know.
Didn't like the movie. He was too busy staring at his eyes.
Ayo. But there's just a lot of franticness and a lot of stuff I wasn't.
It's way too long too.
2 hours for this
too
was a
much for
long
music.
film.
I will say it gave me PTSD too. I started having Red Dead Redemption 2 flashbacks and started really crying about Arthur Morgan because fucking what's her name?
TB.
Data consumption.
Yeah, TB. I was like, oof. That's all I thought about the whole movie. I'm like, oh, poor Arthur.
As soon as she coughed and there was blood, I was like, oh, she's gonna die of TB by the end of this film, huh?
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
I kind of liked. Yeah, I kind of liked some of the acting. Like the people that were with John Leguizamo and Ewan McGregor, like the other people, I thought they were just a little too eccentric, like a little too whatever.
But I think that was the point.
Yeah,
that they're eccentric French artists.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
I get that part of it, but then like Zidler, who was also fucking bonkers. I thought
Zidler was Jim Broadbent.
Yes, yeah,
he was
I like
maestro or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. He it's not a circus, but he's like the ringleader. So he is rightfully fucking absolutely bonkers.
I thought that was the guy who directed the first Thor movie the whole time. Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth
It kind of
Branagh?
looks like it. Yeah, I was like, is that Kenneth Branagh? The whole time I was like, no. And then when I looked up Jim Broadbent, I'm like, is that the guy from Whose Line Is It Anyway? The guy
No.
I know.
What?
Colin.
Whatever his name is.
Colin Firth? No, Colin
Mockery.
Mockery. Colin Mockery.
Yeah, Colin Walker.
I will say that the actor that plays Richard Roxburgh, the actor that plays the Duke, I hated the Duke in the film, which obviously you're not supposed to like that character, but I think he played that role very well. Like he was probably, I think, one of the better actors in the movie, just for the role he was playing as that guy.
All he needed to do was literally twirl his mustache, like, I'm the bad guy.
Well,
give me Nicole Kidman.
Just like some of his dialogue and some of the way he delivers the dialogue was just, it fit that character really well. I was like, all right, like I can believe that this guy is this fucking like sleazy fucking Duke, whatever.
Yeah, he was the bad guy. I don't know what fucking Professor
Tuberculosis was the bad guy.
Tuberculosis was
no, who's really the bad guy? The lady that needlessly said, like, "Oh, why is she going to be with the penniless writer?" Oh, I mean, sitar player. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah,
blowing up her spot.
What do you gain from this? You know what's riding on this performance.
Yeah, that was one of
the. He clearly didn't know.
That was like one of the plot.
Into the sea.
That's like one of the plot threads I didn't understand though. There was no motivation for that character to go up and do that to the Duke, though, right?
No, not that I know.
Not that they shown on screen.
You're talking about
she wants to be like the number one.
She was jealous of Nicole Kidman. Is that why? Yeah. Okay. All right. Then I guess that makes sense.
I was trying to not do the math. I was like, all right, this movie was this time. Would that song come into this movie at all? Like, I didn't know if the song had come out already.
No. I was just yeah.
I will say, so the three of you may have more input on this specific thing I'm going to say, just because you've all seen more movies than I am. I'm just guessing, taking a leap of faith that statement is accurate. But the scene inside the elephant is such a large
scene.
Yes, such a large portion of the movie, which is fine. But I guess I was more surprised that they used that scene, like that setting, that fucking thing, for that much of a movie, because I feel like movies don't fucking do that. It wasn't a bad thing. I was just like, they're getting so much use out of this specific set. Is that like a thing that just older movies utilize, like sets more, or am I just like, I don't watch movies?
I feel like this movie in particular, like, didn't have a large set.
No, definitely not.
I think this movie wanted to be like a play,
theater.
Like an actual.
Yeah. It was built to be a play, and it became a play. It became. I'm pretty sure they did it on stage. Broadway.
They. I will say that a lot of the special effects, maybe they looked good at the time. They were so bad, and I kind of just wish they didn't exist. Like, I didn't need them when they transitioned between like the Playhouse and wherever fucking Ewan McGregor lives, for them to like pan the camera through the windmill. Like, I don't need that. Please stop doing this. It is so bad. And then there were two very specific scenes. Jen, you want to give your input on Moulin Rouge, because we're all talking shit about it? That's all you want to say? Here, you don't have to be on camera if you don't want, but just come right to the door and say it. All right. She said Nicole Kidman, and she liked the movie, but Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor both overact.
I hate Nicole Kidman. I really don't like anything.
Todd, this is like your 7th time saying it. We all know.
I fucking hate Nicole Kidman. I fucking hate her. She's been in one good movie. The Others, I think, is the only movie I liked her in. Oh, and
yeah, she was great in The Others.
The Stanley Kubrick movie, Eyes Wide Shut. I liked her in that. And other than that, I don't really like her in anything.
There were two very specific.
I love her in the AMC opening.
Yeah, that's honestly,
like, I love going to the movies.
I love how that's a thing too. Like, everyone's just like, they just go for that. That's just.
Do people just go for that? I don't.
Yeah, it's like an
just go for that
joke right now. It's like a.
After she's done saying that, I leave the theater. I'm like, all right.
I throw my I throw my full popcorn away and I just leave. There were two stupid things that stuck out to me so much, to the point where I took a note on my phone, and I'm going to bring them up right now. At the beginning, when they're doing that first big dance number, and they kick the hats off of all of the people, and they flew into the fucking sky, like the actual fucking sky, and they pan the camera out for that, I'm like, what is happening? And then they do it again. They do it at the end of the movie when they kick the gun has to fly through the fucking into space. Like, no, that just didn't need to happen.
Also at the beginning, the amount of crotch
forget, was that the
shots,
Eiffel
that
Tower that
same
it hit?
crotch they kept on showing, like when they're hiking up, like it was like this one girl's crotch, like shown over and over and over again. I'm like, okay, we've seen this many times now, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess compared to some of the other musicals we've watched for this, I feel like the
See,
choreography
the
is
Greatest
just
Showman's a gem at this point, right now.
I think the choreography and music in Greatest Showman was probably better for me personally. I mean, obviously, a lot of these songs were just actual songs that they were singing, and not that they're bad, but I think for like that, I think
the idea behind Greatest Showman was to make the soundtrack poppy. The idea behind this was to make a musical soundtrack.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no,
it makes sense that you enjoy the Greatest Showman more.
I guess when I'm like looking for the scenes that I enjoyed musical wise in this the most, like I think the barroom scene in Greatest Showman is better than all of the musical scenes in this movie. My favorite one is actually probably, and I don't even like that much, is when Zidler and the Duke are, I think it's before he makes them go to dinner. Yes, when they sing Like a Virgin. Yes, I think that might be my favorite like musical scene in the movie, because
I think the narcoleptic Argentinian or whatever his name is, that like that's his name in the movie.
Yeah.
There was a point where like he's singing with the girl that like outs Satine.
When they sing Roxanne.
Yeah, Roxanne.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was like a decent scene. Like I liked most of that. It was just like
those might have actually
like
went back to back. Yeah, those might have went back to back or very close to each other.
It may have been happening at the same time, yeah.
Because
there was a point where they were like going back and forth.
They were going back,
like, two different scenes.
Yeah, when they were singing Roxanne, Ewan McGregor was singing a different song, and the Duke got really upset at Satine and was like, "I'm gonna fucking tear your clothes off." And then the other dude showed up from the shadows and punched him in the face.
Yeah.
Again,
so those are
a wild ride
happening.
Yeah. The other song that the Like a Virgin was before that then, because it was I believe it was when he was supposed to go with her to dinner and she didn't go because she wanted to fucking write the song with him or whatever. And
then she started coughing up blood, and they said,
"Yes,
lay down, you're dying."
Yes, and he and Zidler was basically like trying to keep him there, saying like, "Oh no, she like she loves only you," or whatever. But I like that because it was like ridiculous, but also because I think the Duke was good in that scene and also very fucking creepy. And I also like the way he was dressed and acting in that scene. He seemed very Dracula-like to me, and this scene was basically when Zidler was giving Satine to him. So it was like he was like sapping her life. I don't know. It was all like very Dracula-esque to me. That's what I interpreted from it.
I expected them to start singing the songs from Phantom of the Opera. That's what I was expecting.
Okay.
Sing for me, my angel of music.
I will say in the spectacular scene at the beginning too, or towards the beginning, when they're all singing in the elephant, whatever the line of dialogue is that Ewan McGregor sings at first, and that's what like she stops and like all of a sudden now she has like he has her gaze, like she's like, oh, I'm now interested in this person. Later in that same scene, when the Duke sings it, it's like purposely fucking horrible sounding, and I was like that was supposed to be a comedic thing, and I thought it was very funny. I enjoyed it because like part of why she perked up to Ewan McGregor is because Christian. I start saying the actor, like the character's name, Christian, is because his voice was whatever, so beautiful, and then when he says it, it's like fucking nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah, I had a really hard time getting through this movie. I didn't enjoy any of the music in it either.
Yeah, I worked out during it. I still had my full attention. I just like continued to lift weights throughout it because
there was a period of time where I was still kind of banging through Neon White while I was watching this movie.
Wow. So Mike was just not paying attention.
I'll admit, the beginning I was a little confused. So I was looking up, and then I saw that Ewan McGregor. I didn't bother learning anyone's names. He was typing, and then like there was a hole in his ceiling, maybe. And then I was typing, and I look up again. They're like, "Yeah, the dude with the handkerchief," and she's looking around, and they're pulling handkerchiefs. I'm like, "Oh, John Leguizamo's in this. Good for him." And I look down again, and I look up. They were doing the can. So you know, it was a movie.
Other interesting things that I looked up about the film. Leonardo DiCaprio wanted to play Christian, but couldn't sing.
Of course.
So
I wasn't sure if Ewan McGregor was singing or not.
I could kind of tell.
I think they all were. I think they all were.
Yeah.
I think they all were, but were they dubbed? Did they dub over their own voices? You know, like
I think they did.
Like they weren't
dance
singing
and
on the
stuff?
set. Yeah, they probably weren't singing on the set. Yeah. I mean, they're probably singing while recording it, but they probably, like, the final edit of the film, I would imagine, was probably, like, them focused singing.
It very much looked like they were dubbed over, but I was like, all right, are they dubbing it over with their own voice, or did they get someone who can actually sing?
Where was the other thing I saw? So, apparently, part of the plot of this film is based off of Orpheus and Eurydice, or I don't know how to say that.
Morbius?
No, not Morbius. It's
Yeah, is it Eurydice?
Eurydice. Yeah, that's probably how you pronounce it. Orpheus and Eurydice's story. So, and there's clear parallels if you are familiar with Orpheus and Eurydice's story, but I think it also is, you know, obviously clearly doing its own stuff, but also pulling from, you know, the kind of the Moulin Rouge itself. So that was an interesting little tidbit when I was looking into more of the film, because I didn't know this movie was, I don't think this movie is necessarily based on a true story, but it is pulling from like historical accounts of that, and I wasn't aware of that. Nor was I aware that I believe this was like an original screenplay written by Baz Luhrmann or whoever wrote it. Baz. I mean, that's all I have to really say about the film. I don't know if anyone else wants to talk good or bad or point anything else out about it.
That's all I got.
No, fuck that movie.
I
I don't understand how it was nominated for, like...
Bro, I know how I understand, because the more we keep doing this, award-winning films just don't know if it doesn't mean anything to me, because some of the films we've watched have also been nominated or won awards, but also so did fucking When the Moon Hits Your Eye Like a Fucking Big Pizza Pie. That movie is Oscar-winning, and that movie's fucking garbage.
Yeah, sorry, Iron Man wasn't in it, all right? What are we going to do?
Bro, I'm sorry, but Nicolas Cage with a wooden hand fucking making pizza dough or whatever the fuck he's doing. He's a bread baker or whatever.
I'll defend that movie.
I'm good.
It's like a classic that I love.
Yeah, that's fine that you like.
I
mean, that's...
Watching that movie in like 2020, it can be like a shock to the system, never seeing that movie. You know, like it's definitely an old movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not a good movie, though. I've watched old movies and enjoyed them. I think that what the biggest eye-opener to this whole thing is, again, I'll say it again, I always considered Todd like a fucking cinephile, an aficionado, like someone I would trust their opinion on TVs and movies, and I don't know.
Well, I would think that it doesn't necessarily... What I would say is that you typically just don't like the movies, even if they've been critically acclaimed in whatever capacity. Brenden just doesn't like most movies.
I was gonna say, I feel like you haven't liked most movies that we've watched.
I feel like we're just finding out throughout this thing. I feel like the takeaway is that Brenden just doesn't like movies. That's the takeaway.
I loved Moonlight.
Yeah.
I liked fucking Sorry to Bother You. Sorry to Bother You, I think I would like more if it didn't get absolutely bonkers at the end. That's when I was like, I still like this movie, but it went fucking way off the deep end. Like, way off the deep end. In like it I think thematically made sense with what I think the director, writer, or whatever was trying to say. It was just like, it fucking went off the fucking rails. But anyways, before we wrap this episode 321 up, I figured because it's a double header tonight, double feature, and because it's a movie, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do something a little different for What's in the Box. I pulled up another movie, and here's how we're gonna do this.
All right, so it's a movie that Brendan's seen.
Well, here's what we're gonna
Marvel
do.
movie.
Avengers Endgame.
First, we're gonna pull up the score.
Infinity War.
First, we're gonna pull up the score. Dom's leading the league, 34 points. Todd behind him with 27. Mike behind him with 21, and then a bunch of guest points. I am going to give you the choice of different things here. The more I reveal, the less point the winner gets. So starting this off, if you are able to get it from the first set of information, you will get 3 points. If I have to reveal more and someone gets it, you will get 2 points. If I have to reveal the tagline of the film, you will get 1 point.
Is this like that game we played for like 3 hours one night when we were playing Fortnite?
Yeah.
No, because that game you guys are too good at. We can't play that game. So, without further ado, I don't have a name for this yet, but
We'll get there.
tagline game. So, I will give you the budget, and either.
Before you go on, is this from your collection or just on you're online right now?
I am not giving you information, Todd. It is a movie.
This is a film. Go on.
I will give you the budget, and then as a group, you have a choice of either the release date or the worldwide gross.
The release date. If you give us the budget and how much money it made, we're not going to get the film.
Yeah,
All right, here's what we're going to do then. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do...
With no other information, no date, no genre. Just, this is how much money it made.
This is how much
Hold
money
on,
they
hold on.
spent
This
on it,
is-
and this is how much money it made.
This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Let me add one more... Let me pull up one more thing on this film, and then we'll go.
Iron Man 2.
one low grade
All
actor
right.
in it.
This is for the 3 points. This is the
I'll
information
tell
I'm going to
you
give you.
the budget and the best boy in the film.
You are going to get the budget, the worldwide gross, and do you want
Team.
genre or do you want rating? It's for
Probably
3
genre,
points. It
right?
shouldn't be easy. It's for 3 points.
I'd say genre, right?
Yeah, genre's probably better.
So we're getting release date, genre, and...
No.
Budget?
Release date will be in the 2 point.
Yeah, so it's
Wait,
it's box office and it's also
Budget, box office, and you want me to put release date in the 3 point thing? I feel like that's too much information for 3 points.
How much money it made and the genre. In hundreds of years of cinema.
Well,
It's 3
that's
points.
100.
It's fucking 3 points.
100. According to Nicole Kidman, I think 100 years, at least for AMC theaters.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We'll do budget. We'll do gross, and we'll do year. I will not give you the month. I'll give you the year.
Yeah, that's fine. Year is
Year is
perfectly
enough,
fine.
yeah.
You don't.
I don't want to give too much for the 3 points. Come on.
No,
3
that's
points.
fair, but like you can't just be like, this is how much money you made, and like this is what I was dressed when the movie came out.
I mean, if you want me to reverse this whole thing, and it can be, no, because no, because then it would have to be a group.
Do what we have.
It would have to be a group consensus of, do you all want this or who wants what? So we'll do this.
Yeah, no, what we have is fine.
Release, and I will say, for each tier up until the end, you only get 2 guesses per tier per person. So you can't just fucking rattle off movies as your guess. You can talk aloud. That's fine. You can think out loud if you want to, commiserate. I don't know why you want to work together for points, but
All right, go. Yeah.
released in 2001 with a budget of 60 million and a worldwide gross of just over 484 million.
2000. What did you say? 2001.
2001.
Mm-hmm.
What film
Free demo?
is this?
2001.
What was the
Can I
budget again?
say-
With a budget of 60 million and a worldwide gross of just over 484 million. This movie released in 2001.
I'm gonna blow my first guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care. Fellowship of the Ring.
No. I will say, no one look at the Twitch chat because both of the people in the Twitch chat just fucking slam dunked that shit.
Yeah, they have
Transformers.
access to the internet.
Transformers.
Incorrect.
Transformers?
Why would
keep
you
letting
waste
Todd,
your guess
keep
on-
letting Todd, keep letting Todd take guesses. 2001. Did that come out in 2001? I think it got delayed till 2002.
What movie?
The first Spider-Man, I think, got delayed till 2002 because
Yeah,
of
that was
the
2002.
towers.
Yeah.
Cam said
2001.
nailed it, by the way, and then said, I didn't look up shit, Dom.
Um, what?
What was the budget again? You said 60 million?
60
million.
million.
480. 2000.
That's a big haul for a movie back then too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, you can take your second guess.
Yeah. Okay. Let me think about this a little bit more. What was I doing in 2001? I was 12 years old.
That's how I have to do it.
Just
I'm like,
explore my
where was I in
body.
life?
Just started exploring my body, and let's see. Phantom Menace was 99. Spider-Man, like we said, was 2002.
Attack of the Clones was also 2002.
Yep. Let's see. Where are we for the Austin Powers films?
That's what I was just
Oh,
saying.
yeah,
That's what
it would've
I was
been,
trying to piece that together too.
It would have been Austin Powers and Goldmember.
Goldmember.
See, that could have.
I'll take
yes,
it.
that-
I'll take a guess.
that
I'll
ties-
take a guess.
That
Goldmember.
ties into my exploring my body because Beyonce was in that film. But that'll be your guess. Have fun with it.
So,
Yep,
I'm
go
sorry. Dom, you are using your first guess here with a gold member?
That's correct.
You are wrong.
I was gonna say 480 million is a lot for a comedy.
It would have been Goldmember in 2001, right?
Yeah.
Who's this?
Ooh, it might have been. It might have been Spy Who Shagged Me, Mike. If you want to take that one.
You know what?
I don't know. That
I don't
seems
have
like a
anything
lot. That seems like a
That's
lot
way
of money
too
for
much.
Austin
It's
Powers.
a lot of money,
And
but
that
to be
budget-
fair,
that budget's way too much too. 60 million for an Austin Powers movie. I don't think the first
I mean,
Yeah,
the first one must
maybe.
have done well enough for them to do a second one, and the second one must have done well enough for them to do a third film. But
the
then
second
again,
one
it's a
definitely
comedy,
did
so
way
that
better
bar
than
might
the
be-
first.
The bar is like where
I don't think we're getting 480 million out of a comedy though. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
wrong. I don't know.
tough. That's tough.
This movie had to have had legs. Oh, can I guess?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, no,
yeah,
this
you
is
both
wrong.
get two
This
guesses.
is wrong.
You
This
all
is
get
wrong.
two guesses.
We all get two guesses, and Todd wasted one on Transformers for whatever goddamn reason.
I don't know. I wasn't thinking of like.
We
wait,
can,
why is that such a bad guess? I just thought of what it made
Because
for
the
money.
first Transformers, the first one came out in 2007.
Oh really? I didn't even. Yes, I don't even know because those movies are all trash anyway. So it's like
Fucking
barely
Todd's
remember them.
Poking up a doobie right now. He doesn't even know what's going on.
Do we have more guesses, or are we moving on to 2 points?
Yeah, you know what?
No.
I'll throw out my guess on Spy Who Shagged Me. No, was that the because the first one's Man of Mystery. So I'll
I
throw out
got my guess. I just came back from the bathroom. My phone is right here. I was in the bathroom.
You went to the bathroom without your phone. You
So,
went to
Mike,
the bathroom without your
you
phone?
are throwing your second
Oh,
guess out there
let-
for Austin
Yeah, go
Powers.
ahead.
Yeah.
Incorrect.
Okay.
So I'll let everybody in on my thinking. So my thought was, is there a Pixar movie that came out in 2001? Went to Monsters Inc. That would have been the right time, I think. And I was like, I don't know, a Pixar movie probably wouldn't have made that much money. It would have had to been a huge fucking phenomenon.
Yeah, it's gotta be Toy Story. Or
But
something.
Toy Story 2 was
2000
99, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, Toy Story
2002,
2 is 99?
2001.
Oh, wow.
We forgot a huge budget sci-fi franchise.
Oh wait, the first X-Men? No, the first X-Men was 2000.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, Reeves.
What'd you say?
Oh yeah, the Matrix. Matrix was
The Matrix is my
Matrix
guess.
was 99. Matrix was
is
99.
99,
And then
so Reloaded was when?
the second one
Would
was
have been.
2002, I think.
I'm
2002, 2003. You can use your guess, but I'm pretty sure the first Matrix doesn't count, and then the second one I think came out later.
Are we sure that the Matrix came out before 2001, the first one?
Yeah, because I saw
Pretty
it
sure the
in
first one
my
was
senior year of high
99.
school in 99.
All right, so I'm going for Matrix Reloaded.
Incorrect. And I will say two things
I
here.
think Matrix Reloaded is 2002 or 2003.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Why are you? Well, I'll say one thing. Why are you helping
Working
Dom?
together?
Like, why are you working
I don't know.
together?
Yeah, I don't know.
This seems unless Mike knew and is just trying to push off the wrong guess, which is smart play.
It's smart play, but no, I was giving legitimate information.
So
Like, I didn't.
I'm
that
just gonna make my second guess. So, okay, I give my second guess or no?
you want to jump the gun? You already gave two guesses, did you not? Did Todd?
Did I?
You said I
don't
know
think
you
so.
said transfer. Oh, you get a second guess before we move on then.
I didn't hear him take a second guess while I was in the bathroom.
No, he didn't. He was still very confused.
I'll just say X2. I don't know when that came out.
Incorrect. So we will move on.
X2 would have been.
We decided the first one was 2000, right?
Oh, it was okay.
The first X-Men was like 2000, yeah, I think.
Yeah.
We will move on. No points awarded. For 2 points, you already know the budget is 60 million. You already know that it grossed just over 484 million. And you already know that it came out in 2001. Maybe you'd like to know when in 2001. It came out May 16th, 2001.
Yeah, it's a summer blockbuster.
With a rating of PG. And my last clue for the 2-point tier will be that this
Oh shit.
film
I think
has
it
both
was
been
an extra film.
nominated and won an Oscar.
Then my guess is wrong.
So there you have it for 2 points.
I think you're right.
It
with
could have been.
Pixar.
Mine could have been.
would have
No,
been-
all right. I'm going to take my first guess of this round.
Go for it.
Another Mike Myers film that we forgot about. Shrek.
Boo, 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 boo. The answer is, of course, Shrek. Dom gets a 2
Wait,
points.
that won an Oscar?
It won an Oscar
That's-
for Best Animated Feature Film.
Animated feature film. That's why I was like, oh, as soon as he said Oscar, I was like, oh, there's no way it's right. And I was like, oh, they
That-
did have animated feature film by that point.
Bumps Dom up to a cool 36 points. And we will do one more of these, and then we will move on to the next episode.
I still have never seen Shrek to this day.
I'm pretty sure I've only seen it in Spanish.
And just for fun, to see what the 1 point would be, you would get the tagline for the film, which is, I think everyone would have said it probably right away, the greatest
all over
fairy,
now.
the greatest fairy tale never told.
Actually, I wouldn't have got that. So
The prince isn't charming, the princess isn't sleeping.
yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
All right, let me pull up the stats for the second film here. So we will do the same with a budget of 60 million
We just did this now.
and a worldwide gross of 58 million.
60 million, 58 million.
Yes, this
Oh, it was a
movie
failure.
released in 2005. 2 guesses each, 3 points on the table.
2005.
The Adventures of Pluto Nash.
Incorrect.
I think it made more less than that. So.
All right, fuck it.
It's
Fuck
probably-
it. It's Norbit.
Incorrect.
We're just going down the Eddie Murphy rabbit hole.
So
I just threw
2005.
my first guess out because you said Pluto Nash too quick. I didn't even bother to think when Norbit could have been. Just fuck it.
I also don't know when Pluto Nash came out, to be honest with you.
I don't either.
John Carpenter.
No,
Incorrect.
Todd, god damn it.
Why?
That was 2008 too, right?
How would I ever know
2007.
this?
John Carter was, I want to say, like at least 2010.
Everyone
I'm trying
has
to think of-
one
I'm
guess
trying to
left
think
on
of
this
failure.
tier.
I'm just
I just
literally
actually,
thinking
I
of
want to vote. I want to
known failure.
find that. Carter of Mars. 2012.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that late.
Todd also said John Carpenter.
Yeah, I don't
it
even know what the fuck
It
I'm
doesn't
looking at.
matter. He was wrong. So
wrong on multiple levels. Okay.
If it was John Carter, I would have given it to him, but we know it's not John Carter. So.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if all of you have seen this film, but I did in theaters. There is a context clue.
Oh.
Wait,
There we go. It's a walk to remember.
It is not a walk to remember.
It's Crossroads.
It is not Crossroads. Those are your guesses, by the way. So
We're absolutely nailing Brenden right now, though.
It's
You
8
definitely
Mile.
saw both of those movies in theaters.
8 Mile 2003.
yeah, but both of those movies were before that.
It doesn't matter.
Is Todd your guess 8 Mile?
Matter.
Yeah, that was my guess. Yeah.
No, it is not 8 Mile. That bumps us down to the 2-point tier, which we already know with a budget of $60 million and a worldwide gross of $58 million. This movie released in 2005 on October 21st. And I will look it up to verify, but I can feel like I can confidently say this movie has no awards. I also gave you the rating for the second tier before. So this is a rated R film.
Ooh, rated R.
What year did I say? 2005.
2005.
Rated R.
What's our Sandler film for that year?
He doesn't have many R's.
I don't know. Would Brenden have seen an Adam Sandler movie in theaters?
My guy, I watched.
he's a
I
weird-
watched.
Who be Halloween?
I'm pretty sure I watched 8 Crazy Nights in theaters.
I know I did.
I don't think that one was rated R. I think that was rated PG-13.
I think it might have been rated R.
Yeah,
I thought it was.
no,
Maybe
I saw
not.
it in I saw it in middle school.
Yeah, I don't think that was.
Which, say what you will, I don't think they would have let me into a rated R film.
I think. I think That's My Boy was like the first R-rated movie that fucking Sandler did like for a long time.
I don't know.
Besides,
I don't know if this is gonna give anything away because I don't know what one of these things is. But it did actually get nominated for 2 awards: one Razzie and one Fangoria.
that makes sense because it fucking didn't perform over budget, so it's clearly a horror movie.
The Razzie was for Worst Actor. I will not give you the actor. And the Fangoria Chainsaw Award was for Bloodiest Beatdown. I will also not give you the actors involved.
This is not my
I
guess,
probably
but when was Van Helsing, Mike?
Ooh, I think Van Helsing was 2004.
Okay. We also saw that in theaters. I don't know if Brenden knows that.
Cam,
He's
I'm
giggling now,
laughing at Cam's guess in the chat because I don't know how after the information I just said out loud that is the guess. Okay, he said never mind.
Dom, unrelated to like most of the things going on. Were you there the night I went to How Did It Get Made? Where they did Van Helsing?
Yes, but I think I went to the other show.
Okay, I went to both, and you only said
Worst
after the
actor,
first
you said?
I think that was the night that we did the movie with the guy from TV, whose name I
I
can't
probably
remember.
saw this in the theater, whatever.
Boston
it is.
movie.
I always see
Yeah,
horror
yeah.
movies.
The guy from Night Court.
I feel
Yeah.
like there is potential
Larroquette.
that all of us have seen this film.
Okay, so this is not
Wait.
my.
Did
we
you
are
say
we are all definitely aware of this film.
This is not my guess, and there's a chance I might be on the right track. And if someone wants to run with it, go ahead. I feel like it's probably a scary movie in the sense that it is one of the scary
correct?
movie.
We already
films.
said that.
Okay,
A scary movie. Okay.
I don't know which one.
Nah, because they made those up to like 4. They did well up until like 4 or 5. They Charlie Sheen was in one when he was popular. And,
yeah.
like,
I guess they would have had to have made money, right, for them to keep
yeah.
making them.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. 100%.
That's true.
I mean, if the guesses are just not there, we can go to the final tier and go right to the 1 point if no one else has guesses.
58 million. I feel like 58 million is still good for a $60 million budget for a horror movie is way too high for a horror movie. I feel like.
Like, when was Cry Wolf?
I didn't see that with you guys, but it was that would check out. I think you guys would have seen it in 2004, 2005.
Fuck it, I'm guessing. No, there's no way.
Have
Brenden-
any of you made an actual guess on tier 2 or no?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, here's what we'll do. You all get one guess. I will reveal.
Wait, didn't I not?
You said
Oh, my
No,
name.
You
Go
didn't
on.
guess. You didn't guess.
if you did, you knew it was wrong, and you're like, I'm gonna say it anyway. I will give you. There are 2 taglines for this film. I will give you the first tagline. And if no one gets it on their guess, I will reveal the second tagline in the tier 1 points. No one gets out alive.
No one gets out alive.
Budget of 60, gross of 58.
Oh, I know this movie. Fuck,
October 2005.
Fuck, I know the name of it.
No one gets out
I can say an actor that's in it right now, but I'm not going to say it because it'll give the movie away.
I'm so confused by Brenden seeing a horror film in theaters. What were you?
I know
what
it
were you
is.
trying to gain from this?
Oh my god. I'm not going to remember the name.
When the movie gets revealed, Mike, you will understand why I saw this movie.
I'm going to be so mad when this movie gets revealed.
Cheers to Cam getting the movie.
Here's my guess. House of Wax.
No.
No, that's not a bad guess.
No, it's.
It would have been the right time, right?
I want to say something right now that'll spoil it because I don't think I'm going to remember the name of it. But I do believe a friend of the show is in the movie.
You're telling me Matthew Lillard was in one of these movies? House of Wax was used in 5. I forget what year this movie came
Nailed
out.
it.
Oh, okay.
That was. Yeah, you said it was 2005.
I already forgot all the information.
I can't think of another Matthew Lillard horror movie besides Saw. I mean, not Saw.
Scream.
Scream. Sorry,
Oh,
I was trying to go through the Saw franchise to see if Saw would fit in there, but it doesn't make sense.
If it is that, but
it could be the first.
I'm just gonna say this because I don't even know if this is the name of the movie, but I'm just gonna say House of the Dead.
Incorrect.
That's the name of the movie. Okay.
Oh wait, is it Resident Evil?
Incorrect.
Ooh.
Oh fuck, it's
That's a good
Resident
guess,
Evil 2. God damn it.
Oh yeah.
We will move on.
He made too much of a facial expression, so
We will move on to the final tier point.
I don't know any of the titles.
No, the Resident Evil movies did too well to be getting 58 on the 60.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, the first
maybe.
one, I don't know. I don't think the first one did that great, but they still made another one.
For
Okay, maybe. All right, Brenden.
It's the only thing that makes sense for Brenden to have seen a horror movie in theaters.
For the 1
that's true.
point tier, you get the other tagline. Hell breaks loose.
Oh, it's Doom.
This isn't.
It is indeed Doom,
There you go.
starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
What was the movie I was thinking?
We did see it in theaters.
I had a
guess-
feeling we all did. Or maybe Todd
I
didn't.
still haven't seen that movie. I didn't see that.
Wait,
Yeah,
did we
I
see it
know.
together?
You didn't see it with us?
No, I had no interest.
No,
I've never
you
seen
guys
it
did a
ever.
lot of
No, I
things
saw
about
it
me.
with somebody.
I may have
saw
seen.
it. Did a lot
I may
of
have
things
seen.
about
No, 2005. Yeah, we may have seen it together. Doug.
Maybe. Yeah.
I
maybe.
only saw it because, well, I guess I saw it for 2 reasons. It was
was
based on a
cool.
video game, and it was The Rock. The movie was
And,
fucking really bad.
And
Oh, I was thinking 13 Ghosts. If you
Who
guys
else is
remember
in
that movie.
yeah,
Let's see who else is in it. Carl Urban, Rosamund
Urban,
Pike.
Carl Urban was Doom Guy.
Rosamund Pike was in that too. It's actually got a pretty decent cast.
I mean, it's Doom. It's like one
was
of
bad.
the it was a bad
It was
movie,
bad.
but like it was
The best
licensed to
scene
one of
was
the
at the
biggest
the best scene
video game
was at the
franchises.
end when it like went into the video, like the old like 16-bit Doom.
Yeah, graphics and whatever.
Yeah, it like went
Doom
into
first
that
person?
screen. Yeah.
But that leaves us with a point total of Dom at 37, Todd at 27, Mike at 21, and a bunch of guest points. That will do it for episode 321, but we are coming right back in just a moment with episode 322, the double feature for the PTC Movie Club, where we talk about Hedwig and the Angry Inch. So the stream will go down for just a moment, but we'll be right back. You can find everything we do at passthecontroller.io, Twitter, Instagram, at passcontroller, twitch.tv/passcontroller. Friend of the show, fan of the show, leave us a review, do all those lovely things, follow us, subscribe, and we will be back very shortly with episode 322.